Hello guys and welcome to the next tutorial lesson. In this video we're going to be looking at HTML syntax. In our previous video we installed some nifty extensions to help speed up our development workflow, but I actually forgot one important extension, which is Prettier. Um, and this extension basically would just make your VS Code much more organized and structured. So go ahead and install Prettier, Prettier code formatter. This is going to take a while. Alright, we have Prettier installed. For some time it actually takes time to install. I don't know why. So we're going to come to, for Prettier, we're going to configure something. So we're going to be going to our VS Code settings, and we're going to be searching for formats. We're going to be selecting this and this. Once you select format on paste and format on save, it automatically saves. So all you just need to do is close your setting, and what it does is it helps you, like you can see how these blocks of codes are organized. They are properly indented, and they are indented in a way that is easier to read. So what Prettier does is that you may be typing some blocks of code and maybe they are not really organized. Maybe you have another paragraph here and it's scattered. Whenever you save, Prettier automatically just helps you deal with that extra stuff. So sorry, I didn't show you how to set it up. Once you've done that in your settings, activating your format on save and format on paste, next you come to format documents, or you can go directly a format document with, then you select Prettier and automatically you will have Prettier active in your workspace, so that whenever you're coding, Prettier will help you properly indent and organize your blocks of code. So that's what it does. Another thing I would like you people to also configure in your VS Code is, for example, if I zoom out like this, you can see that some of the codes are not showing, and I will have to use the scroll bar to be able to view the rest of the code. Now when you're coding, most of the times you have your live server active and you have your browser side by side with your text editor. So this is actually going to be smaller, maybe around this size, and the rest will be occupied by your web browser, so that you can actually see what you're coding. Maybe maybe you have something like this set up. As this is how I'm also going to be teaching the tutorial. The web browser is going to be side by side with my text editor. Now just to make coding convenient for you, VS Code has something called word wrap, and the keyboard shortcut is alternate Z. Once you press alternate Z, you can see now that the blocks of codes wrap around the next line, so that you don't have to keep scrolling. You can see everything that is being written. For instance, let's say I want to write a paragraph in my line of code, and I'm writing, and I just keep writing something random. Let me just write random things. You can see that as it gets to the end of your view area in your code, it automatically wraps to the next line so that you can actually see each and every line of your code. You don't have to keep scrolling and scrolling and make it um, inconvenient for you to work properly. So now that all our setup is covered and we've configured everything, it's time to dive right into HTML syntax. Now HTML usually begins with the doc type, and what this does is it tells the browser that, hey, look, this web page is going to be written in HTML5. That is what this line of code means. This doc type HTML tells the browser that this code is going to be written in HTML5. And you have next, this is the basic structure of your HTML page. You have your HTML elements. You have your HTML elements that will contain all your blocks of code. So while the first line tells the browser what language the web page is written in, your HTML element is the root element of your web page that houses everything that has to do with your web page. Now within your HTML element, in between the opening and closing tags, you're going to be also adding your head element, also your head element, and within your head element also you're going to be having your title element. Now you can see that you're having elements within elements, and this is referred to as nesting in HTML. That is, the head tag is nested within the HTML tag and is the child of the HTML element. HTML is the parent element of head and also title. Now you can see the way tags are being nested. You have your opening tag and your closing tag nested in between the parent element opening tag and closing tag. So you this is the way to nest your elements. A bad practice would be maybe putting your title tag maybe here, sorry, here. This will be a bad practice, and this is wrong coding. Your code may not initialize well. So make sure that if you're nesting your elements, that both the head, the opening tag and the closing tags are within the parent elements you want to nest. Okay, so I hope that is clear. So I'm showing you the basic structure of your HTML page. Now you have your head tag, your title, and this is basically the structure of your HTML page. And for this title, you can give this title. For this title actually is the title of your web page. That is what will appear at the top of your web browser. For instance, this welcome to Chrome you're seeing right here is the title of this web page. You get what I'm saying? So let's start up our live server first. So we go live so that now your title, you can give it you give your web page a title. For instance, bakery shop, since we are going with the bakery example. And sorry, let me save this so that our document can be formatted by Prettier. Alright, so you can see the effect of Prettier. You can see how more organized it looks now that we formatted the Prettier. Now once you've selected Prettier as your code formatter, you don't need to always be going there. I just did it now because it's the first time I'm doing it for this web page. So but from now on, immediately I save, Prettier is going to help me to actually arrange the blocks of code in a way that is easier to read. Now you can see here that bakery shop is showing at the top of our page. If I change this to bakery workshop, sorry, I don't have to be too clever about naming right now as it's just illustration. You can see that this changes to bakery workshop. So that is basically what your title does. Now I know I've explained the structure of a HTML element in my slides and also in my PDF document, so I'm not going to be going over that. You can get the resources from my WhatsApp group or GitHub. They are there. So this is basically, then you have your body element too, and within your body element is where you will have most of your web page written in. So you can have your heading tag, your heading 1 tag, you can have your heading 1 element, which basically creates a heading for your web page, and we can put the content as welcome to my bakery. When we save that, we see a bold large text saying welcome to my bakery. Okay, sorry, let me change this to our file explorer. Now I think I didn't really fully explain how this file explorer works. For those that are newbies here, I explained how to create a file and how to create a folder. But when you create a file, what you're basically doing is that this bakery folder you're seeing here actually exists on your computer, like you saw in the other video when I created this folder and I drag and dropped it. So any file you create here is going to be saved here. Now if I open this folder on my computer, you will see that this index.html file I created in my VS Code editor is saved here. If I should create another file here, let's say I create another HTML file like about.html and hit enter, you see it's going to appear here. Okay, so it's whatever files or folder you created, you can see this, the image folder is also showing here. So whatever files or folder you create here is definitely going to appear here. Okay, so VS Code is just helping you to manage your file explorer so that you don't have to come here, create a file and all that. No, VS Code does all the work for you. So just to make that clear, because I know there are some people that are just totally new to this. So let's head back to our index HTML, and just for you to know, whatever web page you're building, you're probably going to be starting with your index HTML file, as this is basically going to be your home page for your website. Once you serve up your website on a production server, your index.html file automatically becomes your home page and your the index to the other pages on your web. Now we've covered the heading tag actually has the heading element actually has 6 types. You have the heading 2, which which is actually slightly less bolder and bigger than heading 1. And as you proceed further to, let me just copy and paste this. As you proceed further down the heading tag from heading 1 to heading 6, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's change this to heading 3. We have here, we'll make this heading 4. Make this heading 5. Make this heading 5 and make this heading 6. Now you can see from the illustration how the headings get smaller and smaller and smaller till you get to heading 6. Now these are going to be used for your headings, and you also have the paragraph element, which creates a new paragraph in your web page. And once we save this, a new paragraph appears. If we put another paragraph and type in something, let's say another paragraph, we save this, we get another paragraph. Okay, so this is going to be like the basic structure of your web page. You have your doc type, your HTML, your head, your title, your body, and in the body, that's where you have your web page content. Now there are some elements that are missing, like the meta tags that are going here, that gives more information to your browser about your web page. But I'm not going to be covering the meta elements now because it's not stuff you need to know right now. But with Emmet, you can easily just type this, and Emmet is going to serve up all the required information you need, all the required meta tags you need to serve to your web browser. As you can see, once this exclamation mark is selected and I hit enter, all the meta tags are going to appear here, along with our basic syntax, the doc type, the HTML. This is the HTML element which the language sets to English. This is the head element, and why this is set language to English is just to give the browser more information that hello, this web page is actually going to be displayed in English. And you have your head tag, your body, and so you're basically set along with your meta tags. So you can just start coding from here with Emmet, and that's the nice thing about Emmet. So in our next videos, we're actually going to delve into elements proper. We're going to be looking at the most common elements you're going to be working with as a developer, and we're going to also be looking at the attributes of those elements. So till next time, I remain your tech geek Sub-Zero, and look forward to the next video.